realize you wanted to be a coach?
When I started getting off, I suppose I was a captain throughout most of my career, so I always knew that I wanted to lead. And I never really thought about actually going into coaching until I think my first, I did my knee and my first operation. Then you start thinking, well, at some point, what are you going to do when you can't play? Then I had a spinal operation, and after that I thought, what am I going to do? Like, I want to stay in football, it's my life. So at that point, I started doing my badges when I was out injured. So then I started thinking, I quite fancy this. Naturally wanted to lead. So I would say not too early, but more towards the later end of my playing career. And I've never looked back now. How would you describe your coaching style?
I think it's I like to transmit my personality, because at the end, as a coach, I think everybody wants to play as good as possible. But as a manager, I think that you can't do the same. For example, that I did in Middlesbrough, that I in Nottingham, or I am doing here, because the clubs are different, the players are different, the squads are different. So the main thing for me is when you see a team which represents the personality of the coach, and then when you have better players, you can play better. So it's just to try to show them the personality, the normal things. One thing that for me is basic is respect.
Yeah.
Is nobody's above the team, so everybody's the same. And when I said nobody's above the team, I mean the coaching staff, the medical department, the kitman, the kitchen, because the only way to be successful, not just in football, in life, is going together. So again, knowing that I'm from Spain and I like to play as better as possible, but for me the main thing is that to transmit my personality to the teams. How different is playing to coaching?
Massive. It's funny because even if you look at Villa at the weekends, it's a different type of, we can only do what we can do. So playing, that match day is your time to step up, but then you get to a match day as a coach. In my opinion, it's your work is 90% done, and so it's over to the players. But I think it's huge. It's a different pressure. I love pressure for some strange reason. That's why I took the job, not going to lie. So it's hugely different, I think, and it's interesting though, because I don't at the moment miss playing, and I've only been not playing 5 years now. But I would say the differences, certainly the pressure differences, are huge, because you can't affect what goes on out there once they cross that line. To an extent you can, but you can't affect as much as you can on the training pitch. So, or certainly as a player. So for me, it's I enjoy this side of it though. But no, massive. How nervous were you? And you're going to say very nervous based on what you've just said. How nervous were you taking your first team talk as a coach?
As a coach, the first one was I wasn't even an assistant. I was a third coach, or it was a club in Spain, which the owner was my friend, and I just was helping them. And it was a non-league team, and it wasn't anything tactical, or it was just something to help them. And again, non-league team, and I was really nervous, and the players couldn't believe, because they looked at me like, wow, he's been in Real Madrid, he's won this or he's won that, and he's nervous. And they asked me after the meeting in the training session, hey, why were you nervous? Because you had been in those changing rooms. I said, look, it's completely different. Because as a player, you are one more. Yeah. You can be with Figo, Zidane, or Roberto Carlos, or but you are one of them. But as a coach, it's all of them against you.
Yeah.
And then when you have been one of them, you know that they are looking at you, what they are going to think about your meetings. So it was difficult. And then the first one that I did with the kids, again, they were 15, 16 years old. And then I was first in the mirror at home, just speaking with myself. And then when I was going to the Spanish national team training ground, I was speaking in the car with the mirror and trying to be as good as I could at that moment, because again it's difficult. The first meeting in front of a group of players is difficult.
I was like that when I came here. I drove here and I was literally talking to myself of what I was going to say to the players, because I was scratching my head thinking, I'm going into the WSL here and you got to know what you're talking about. So yeah, nervy.
And imagine now when you have to speak in a different language.
Yeah, don't envy you.
But since I arrived here, my English is much more fluent when I am angry.
When you're angry?
Angry, yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh,
so if I need to have a quick conversation with you...
At the half times or after the games, when
Brilliant.
we've lost and we are not playing good, my English is fluent.
Love it.
Do you admit when you got it wrong to your players?
It's a good question. So I believe we got the game. I believe I got the game plan wrong when we played Everton in the semi-final of the FA Cup. So not wholeheartedly, no, but I would openly put my hands up and tell them that we got it wrong. Why? Because I think that we've got quite a tight-knit group and a huge amount of respect amongst everybody. So I'm the first to put our hands up when things haven't gone wrong. Right, sorry. So yes, I would. And with certain players, we had a conversation around the Everton game. We were 3 days after playing 120 minutes. We probably should have sat in, but we didn't. We wanted to go and be expansive and get them, try and win the ball up higher up the pitch. So I'm actually going on camera saying that we've got it wrong in the FA Cup semi-final, by the way. But yeah, I think that I got it wrong that day. And when have you failed, and what did you learn?
I felt when I arrived to Middlesbrough, when I said that I was there to get promotion, and they were fighting to stay in Championship. So that was my first answer in the press conference. And 1 year and a half, we lost the final in Wembley, and for me, had been a successful season because the year before we were battling to stay in Championship, and then everybody saw it like a failure. I said, "Wow!" And I said, "Why?" I said this stupidity 1 year and a half ago, but you know, when you don't have the experience and you have that encouragement, then the following year we did it. But it's true that always you learn and always you improve when you have had a failure.
Wow. Always play down.
It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up.
True.
How do you manage a bad apple in the squad?
Oh, a few of them. Now,
if it's just one.
Yeah, yeah. Let's take both those questions. So actually, last at Sheffield United, there was 1 or 2 bad apples, and I didn't deal with it. Not till I probably dealt with it too late. So that's one thing. When I came in here, I realised that if there is a bad apple, they've got to go. And I believe now, just in the 5 years that I've been working in coaching and management, that one bad apple can undo everybody's work. So for me, as clear and as simple as it is, if you've got a bad apple, you need to get them as far away from the team as possible, because it can undo your work quite quickly, in my opinion. So hopefully, touch wood, we don't have any bad apples here. They're an unbelievable bunch. But if any of them do become a rotten apple, then yeah, we'll hopefully take them out the gates and not allow them back in.
And I ask you another thing. How do you manage a bad apple if that apple is not in the squad?
If the apple's not in the squad? Oof, good question.
It's in your coaching staff? It's in the medical staff?
Oh, listen, if it's in my staff, then they simply go and they don't come back. So I think the staff know my standards and know what I expect. If there's a problem with a staff member, then...
Because sometimes you don't realize and you don't know that you have that apple.
Yeah.
Maybe in the medical department, maybe in the coaching staff, and when you realize you're out.
Yeah, because actually, it can happen. Again, here we've got a tight-knit staffing group that it works, but if I suspected it, then I suppose I would be on the phone to Sarah or Dong or anybody else and say, look, you know, anything that's going to be a detriment to what we're trying to achieve as a football club for me isn't, and they're not working for the badge, then for me you don't, you have to try and remove them. I think that's the best possible way, because otherwise it lingers. And before you know it, we're out of a job. That's the reality, I think. Oh, I like this question. What is the one non-negotiable that you demand from your players?
Respect. Respect. Because if they respect each other, they mean that they are going to work each other, they are going to fight each other. So it's respect. And respect starting in the times, for example. Yeah. If the meeting starts at 10, everybody should be at 10. If the training session starts at 10:30, everybody should be at 10:30.
Not 10:29?
Yeah, 10:25. But the training session will start 10:30.
Yeah.
If I am on the pitch, the training will start at 10:30. If I not, the training will start at 10:30. And the same with the coach. When the coach is departing, the coach departs at 1. Who is not in the coach at 1? I'm sorry, they'll have a train or a taxi or because, and again, I think is respect the main thing.
Good.
Do you ever think about legacy?
Yes, and we were discussing this morning actually around CVs. So when I very first spoke to the football club, I'm the sort of person that wants to go and create and build, and I don't like to jump from club to club. So here, I believed when I took the job that I could build something and create something which ultimately you could in 10 years' time leave a legacy. It's going to be tough, we knew that, but it's something that does interest me. So, dependent on what happens, obviously, I would like to think that potentially we have this conversation in 6 or 7 years and we've achieved what we want to achieve and maintain stability in the WSL, and for me that then the legacy takes care of itself. So
we're saying now in 6-7 years to repeat it here?
Yeah. Or where in Madrid now. Yeah, so I think if you do your work and you build, then the legacy takes care of itself. How does the modern footballer differ to how players used to be?
I think they are completely different. And they are completely different in many, many things. I think now they are much more and much better professionals than we were, because it's true they have much more information with the food, with the vitamins, everything. So they know, and their education starts when they are kids, because when I was 15, 16, I was eating sandwiches, and and they are now much better. But it's true that, in the other hand, now, for example, thing that frustrates me a lot is when you finish a game and you get to the changing room and everybody's with the phone and and Twitters and social media, and in the past it was like just having a shower together, trying to celebrate it together, or now it's completely different. But it's true, again, it's modern times. We need to realize that we need to change, and I can't criticize anything because I have Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, so we need to be there.
Snapchat?
Not yet. TikTok, no.
Love it.
What do you do to get away from football?
My little girl. So I actually really look forward to getting home from football because we've got a 17-month-old baby, and she's great. She's crackers. So she's obsessed with ducks. So for example, tomorrow I'm going to the park to see the ducks. So that's just day off. Duck day is day off. So I like to switch off, spend time with Hartley when she goes to bed, glass of red wine. And I actually found a really good red wine last night called the Man from Nowhere. You have to try it. I'll buy you a bottle.
From?
South Africa, I think. It's good.
I will bring you a Spanish
Yeah?
wine.
Spanish Esmeralda. That's a nice Spanish wine, isn't it?
I know a few of them better.
Okay, you bring me white, I'll bring you red.
Okay.
Do you accept your players challenging your decisions?
I accept, but when I have a decision, they know that I am taking that decision for a reason. So I'm not going to my office and I say like, well, this 11 are going to play tomorrow. So I have everything planned. The shapes are always for a reason, thinking about us, thinking about the opponent, thinking about how they've been training. So I tell them always that the door of my office is always open, because if someone needs to know anything, they're going to have a response. So I'm not, again, learning with Jose, the most important thing is that I learned was the honesty. So when one player is coming to my office and why I'm not playing, or I think the main thing is, okay, if you are telling me that you should play, it means that other player couldn't play. So who is that player? And they start like, no, I don't. Yeah, you said that you should play. So I need to take one. So let me know who is that one. And if this one is this, no. I tell you, if this one is this, he's playing for the reason, and you're not playing. And now we have a big advantage with videos, with analysis. Say, look, and you show them how they train, how they play. So I don't care if they are challenging me or if they are coming to us why they are not playing, because not me. We as a coaching staff, we have always more than one answer for these questions. How influential is the senior group in the squad?
How influential is?
The senior group?
Oh, the senior group. In this group, massively influential. So we're fortunate that we have Rachel Causey, Christy Murray, Harriet Scott, all senior internationals that, in my opinion, just ooze professionalism. They are great girls. They really drive standards, which is great because, everyone knows what I want and what I demand, but certainly when you've got your senior players acting with that level of professionalism, it makes everybody else wanna train, wanna play like that. But honestly, the group, even the younger players here, they are. I use this word around them quite a lot, but they're a special group. They're a tight-knit group, and they're a group that want to better themselves every day. So the senior players drive it, but certainly I think even some of the younger ones also try and drive it. So I'm fortunate, I must admit, that I get to work with that group. But it's important.
No, I think it's helpful when the veteran players are leaders.
Yeah.
But the following step is that the young players are following them.
Yeah, because now the problem you've got now as well is the young players, they've all got agents, they all want £1 more, 50p more, and they don't understand. They want to be jumping straight to the top. They don't want to take the steps. So when you've got senior players leading the way and showing the younger players how to get there, I think that's important.
I think it's the opposite. In the past, it was more difficult to manage those veteran players because the young players we did okay, I have to do this, and now it's different.
Yeah,
It's
completely.
more difficult to manage the young players. For that reason, it's important to
Yeah.
have veteran players, leaders.
They all want more, don't they?
That's one.
Last one. How much and for how long does a bad performance affect you?
Fortunately, in this league, you don't have time because you have game every 2 days. But again, it depends where I am because, for example, here I am trying to not show them when I'm frustrated because I prefer to keep them good. And I learned in Midra, for example, I had an experience after a defeat. I was 2 or 3 days, without telling them anything, just walking on the beach, nothing. And, I think you are doing sometimes things as a coach that you, not were demanding, but you showing coaches, and I'm gonna do this to take that response of them.
Yeah.
And then I was, okay, I'm gonna be 3 days upset, I don't care, sad, to get a response, okay, you are sad, we are gonna show you that we are good.
Yeah.
We went to the pitch and it was the opposite. No the spirit, no, and at halftime, I lost my tempo that day, and I said, look, you are looking like I've been the last 3 days. No personality, no, if I'm not in the way that I have to be, the team is nothing on the pitch, so hey, come on. And then the following day I had the 3 seniors, the captains knocking my door, say, Gafa, please, we can't see you in that way. And it was new for me because, and I told them laughing, look, I was doing it because I wanted the opposite reaction. And then I learned that I couldn't be in that way, but they came to my office like, we can't see you in that way. Wow. When I had done, to expecting that the opposite response, they came and said, no, and
they don't want it.
Yeah. But the relationship that I had with that changing room was amazing with the captains, with the Clayton, George, Grant Ledbetter was a proper captain. We were punching each other, we were hugging each other, so it was an amazing relationship. But it's true that sometimes this again, you need to manage that. You need to be right. Sometimes you think I'm going to show them that I am in this way, and you get your officer if I was wrong. Sometimes, but it's part of the journey.
Yeah. After Villa, we were terrible, by the way, absolutely terrible. Worst performance of the season, and I was really angry with the performance, but I knew that it was a big occasion for the fans and the players. So I said to them in the huddle, not the greatest performance, but they can enjoy it for 2 days because it's Derby Day. But when we got in here, look, that performance is not acceptable. But I couldn't enjoy it because the performance wasn't good enough. So social media and everybody in the club and all you lot were going crazy. Well, we won the Derby, brilliant. Terrible performance. So I got over it about 2 days later, I think.
Yeah, but this is good when you are, when you know that even winning the Derby, you didn't perform well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we won the game, next week, the following one, and at the end you won that one, and you're going to lose the following 2 or 3.
I think the girls were shocked, actually. We came in on Monday morning, and we did analysis, and it was all, you give the ball away, terrible, give the ball away, basics, dreadful. And I think they were a bit like, we've just won the Derby. No, not good enough. But I think that's the only way we're going to get better.
Yeah, and I think it's management. Sometimes when they think that they are the best in the world, you have to come on, keep calm. And sometimes my staff say, why? You give them a ball again if we play well today. Say, I know that we play well today, but we need to keep them fighting. And it's the opposite. When they play bad and you feel that they need encouragement, say, come on, nothing happens. So it's this kind of management. It's not just tactics or bad apples or big difference between a player and a coach.
You're not wrong.